Thank you for joining us. I want to get over here because we have a big conversation today. Thank you. Hey, Tamron! I love it. So, oh my gosh, have a seat. Because this is one of those, I'm going to sit down because we have to establish ourselves for this one. Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us wherever you are. I love you. So here's the deal. This is, we're all saying we love each other, but when it's time to forgive someone, are you able to do that? Because that's true love. Today we are diving into a topic we can all relate to, learning how to forgive and finding a way to get those sometimes difficult words out. I'm sorry. It could be a fight with a friend, a family member, or hurt feelings between people you work with. But we've all been in that place where a relationship is damaged, and finding a path forward with forgiveness, acknowledging, especially when we were part of the problem. Yes. Starting out with our first guest, someone I've known for so many years, a great person, one of the biggest names in music, 5-time Grammy Award winner, Jimmy Jam. One of the biggest voices in music for years. Jimmy Jam, along with his writing and producing partner, Terry Lewis, are among the most decorated producers and writers, period. So listen, by the numbers, they have more #1 hits on Billboard charts than any other duo in history, 16, and more than 100 Billboard top 10 songs and Hollywood Walk of Fame. They were just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2 years ago. They have worked with Janet Jackson, Prince, Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey, and many, many more. And remember when they performed with Babyface on our show? That was a show-stopping moment. Okay, but here's the deal. What I didn't know, and so many others did not know, is that Jimmy's father, who is huge in the Minneapolis sound, iconic in the sound, they've been estranged since he was 15 years old. As I said, his father, big deal, James Samuel Cornbread Harris Jr., one of the most influential voices coming out of that Minneapolis sound. But they're making headlines about what are we able to do when it is time to forgive? How do we forgive, especially father and son? Please welcome to the Tam Fam, the icon that is Jimmy Jam Harris III! Oh my God!
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
So good to see you.
And we love you.
Thank you.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Have a seat. You can come closer.
Okay.
And we
I'd love
have
to.
via Zoom James Cornbread Harris Jr., Jimmy's father. Listen, this has taken my breath away. First of all, hey, Dad, how you doing? I see you at the piano, your favorite place there. How old he is now?
97.
97. Look at that. Stand up for 97.
Yeah, right.
We have a picture of you and your dad at the piano. You were around 11 years old. This estrangement started when you were 15. What do you remember about that time?
I just remember my dad wanting to do music, but he had basically kind of given it up to work a normal job to raise me. And I remember him and my mom arguing all the time about that he wanted to take a leave of absence and try to tour and do some different things. And it was kind of like, my mom said, you said you were going to give up music and, raise your son. And I always felt like, wow, I felt like almost resented in a way, like he couldn't do what he wanted to do. And I later
How did you, what was happening in the home that made you feel that resentment?
Just because I knew how important music was to me in my life. And if somebody was telling me I couldn't do music for any reason, I just was like, I couldn't imagine that.
Your dad he's...
Yeah.
Oh, that's why this conversation is such a big deal, because
Yeah.
it is. It's
Yeah.
okay. That's what this show is about. It's about forgiving.
Yeah.
The decision to share this, I mean, I feel like you are truly the story of our lives. Your music, how you've lived your life. There's no one in this world that has not been impacted by what you created. But in this next chapter of your life, you wanted to reveal this estrangement. Why?
At the time, obviously, as a kid, I didn't really I understood why he left, or he felt the need to leave. So I totally understood that. And then we were apart for almost 50 years.
Yeah.
And
that's tough because, I mean, your father is one of the architects of the sound
absolutely.
That's made you an international superstar.
Yeah.
So on one end, you are growing in reputation and name in Minneapolis, and there's your dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still hovering over.
Yeah.
But you weren't seeing each other.
We weren't seeing each other. And I think the thing for me was I had gotten to the point where he wasn't part of my life, and I was okay with that. But what changed that was my partner Terry always said, you can't be the boss, or you can't criticize the boss until you've been a boss, right? So after my kids were raised and were grown, I realized that so many of the lessons that I taught to them were lessons that my dad taught to me. And I felt like I wanted to let him know that I didn't feel any sort of, bitterness or ill will or anything towards him. And I didn't want him to feel the guilt. I wanted to lift whatever guilt he was feeling about leaving, I wanted to lift that. Yeah. And that was, to me, the big opportunity to do that.
I love that. He said, wow, Cornbread, we got you on Zoom because I know it is challenging to travel. We have a photo of you. This is May 17th, 2021, of you and Jimmy, your grandson. What is it like at this point? You've seen a lot in your years on this planet, but to be able to, at this age, have your son and grandson there with you, how did that feel?
Man, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh, yeah. That's what I would like to tell you.
The best thing that ever happened to you.
Yes, right.
That's right.